Welcome back into the show. Well, join with us now virtually. We have Roger Crone, who is the CEO of the Boy Scouts of America. Good morning to you, Roger.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Morgan. It's great to be here.
Yes, great to have you. Fun to just chat with you a little bit about, scouting, what that looks like. Cub Scouts, of course. We're in a time right now where parents are really searching for activities for our kids to do outside of the traditional means of school. Kids are involved in other activities like sports and things like this. But, Cub Scouts can help kids grow in a variety of other ways.
Right. Well, and yeah, the schools are doing a great job of what I call book learning, and so math and English and history. We're a 115-year organization, and what we are known for is getting the kids, if you will, off the couch today, away from screens, into the great outdoors, into nature, but into fun and challenging situations that help them to develop and grow. So we use something called the Patrol Method, which is aimed at developing leadership, character, citizenship, and personal fitness. And we do that by putting kids kind of in group settings, in projects, games, and activities, all with a purpose.
I like that, you guys are really working on building resilience, teamwork, some of those really crucial things, and especially emphasizing getting kids off screens, because that is the way of the world anymore. And I mean, you were an Eagle Scout yourself. You know all about Scouting America, what that looks like. As far as parents balancing this type of schedule with some of the other activities that they have in their lives, Cub Scouting can really work into any schedule.
Yeah, I like to say that our programs can be your child's number one, number two, or number three. When I was a youth, I was an athlete. I ran in the fall and the spring, and I swam in the winter. And back then, our program was flexible enough that scouting could be my number two. So I had a coach that said, you got to make practice every day. And if I knew I had a scout meeting that day, by the way, it forced me to think ahead. It forced me to plan to do my homework early, right? And our program, which we have just redesigned our Cub program, is even more flexible, even more lends itself to sort of the busy kind of digital schedule that our kids have. By the way, our program is designed so you can be a Cub at age 5, but you can also enter our programs at any age. So Cubs 5 through 11, Scouts BSA, really our junior high and high school program. But I would tell parents, the kids are good at multitasking, probably better than they were in my day. And learning how to do more than one thing, learning how to prioritize, learning how to plan, right? And plan ahead, like, I've got to camp out this weekend, but I've got something else. How am I going to get both of those things done? Those are life skills too. In my job today and my job when I was in corporate America, I was busy all the time. I had multiple priorities, and giving kids a taste of that early isn't the worst thing that a parent can do for their child.
Oh, for sure. All about building those skills that last a lifetime. We're talking about helping kids gain confidence, learning about empathy, leadership, all those skills that they would naturally develop. And you do see that into older generations. You can usually tell when somebody has been in Scouts. But as far as, more of the lessons and things that kids can, take as they face challenges later in life, what types of things that are typically taught within the Scouts program?
Well, it's interesting. We have structured projects, activity, games, trips, hikes, but they're all with a purpose. They're all to teach something. And I put my first budget together in Scouting because I was tasked by my unit to go get the food for a camp out. So, I collected money and I had to figure out how I could buy, 4 meals within my budget. My first schedule that I ever put together was to plan a camp out. Well, we're going to go a hike in the morning, we're going to have lunch, we're going to have a campfire, and those kind of things. We put together duty rosters. which, if you think about it, okay, well, somebody needs to get the wood and somebody needs to make the fire, and you put that prioritized task list together, and then we hung it on the side of the patrol box. And 20, 30 years later, when I'm running some large space programs for the government or things, I'm doing the same thing. There are a lot more zeros, right? And it's not something we get done on a weekend, but it's those same skills, and those are going to be so important, regardless of what you do later in life.
Yeah, very foundational skills, just building blocks that keep working on each other. Even when they reach the Eagle Scout status, you hear of projects all the time happening in our communities of ways that the older boys are stepping up too. And I mean, that does start when they're young, and it just kind of keeps building on itself.
And to be an Eagle, it's a great achievement. It really demonstrates your perseverance and your initiative, and you have to have 21 merit badges. But you have to do a community service project. And you think about that kids today where you can become, inwardly focused. If you're in our program, that community service project, I don't mind. It took me a year to think about it and go execute it, but it starts to build a pattern of giving back and lifelong service. And I think that's really important today.
Yeah, just, crucial for kids to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and Cub Scouts is a great way to do that. Roger, how can we tell our viewers where to go to learn more?
Right. Well, like everyone else, we've become digital. We have a great website, beascout.org. And if you click on that, your small screen device or your computer, we have a great landing page, and then we have an AI chatbot that is new this year that is available there to answer questions you may have about our programs, but it's also there to find a unit that's geographically close to where you live or where your kids go to school. So beascout.org.
Yeah, wonderful information. Thank you for sharing with us, how Cub Scouts can help kids grow, lifelong skills, and memories too. So it's a very special organization, and we appreciate your time.
Great. Thanks, Morgan.
Did you expect to live to